and welcome back to my channel. So this video is going to be a little get ready with me, get to know me video. I am going to the Christmas markets with my friends tonight and I'm very excited, but I was like, you know what, the boys are out doing the 12 pubs, I've got some time. I was like, let's do this. This is not going to be me giving you a tutorial about my makeup because, as we identified in previous makeup or previous vlogs, the first vlog, I cannot do makeup. I will not try and tell you that I can do makeup because I can't, but I can like make myself look okay, and that's what matters. So you know what, I will tell you what I use, but don't go buying stuff off my recommendation because I'm not in MUA. And I've said before, Jane McDermott, I said last time I put her here, but I think I said her name right, and because she got the shout out, so I will tag her here. If you need makeup tips, her, she's the one, okay? Anyway, so it's gonna be a wee get to know me, get ready with me type vibe. I've asked some Instagram, what am I talking about? I'm getting excited and I talk too fast. So what I am talking about is, on Instagram I asked some questions, some get to know me questions for this, so I'm gonna answer those whilst I get ready. I am going to be wearing a headband, and now I look like a potato, but I do have hair. I don't know why people make this shit look cool. Like, I'm literally the most uncool person there is. Like, do you put your ears in these things or out of these things? I don't know. Like, I know I'm not going running, but like, is that too weird? I don't know if I can even wear this on here. It's basically to keep it out of my hair, so pretty much it should be like this. Oh my god, I'm literally the worst girl there is. I can't wear that on screen. I can't. I just can't do it. Right, so we're gonna get rid of that there hairband because I look like a potato. Anyway, so question 1. Okay, so we'll start with I kind of writ them out in order of kind of like how I'll answer them, if that makes sense. But anyway, so first of all, I'm using, because Jane told me to buy this, so I went and bought it, the NARS Smooth and Protect Primer. This one. I'm not gonna link the stuff down below, but that's what it is. And pretty much I asked her because I have acne. This is a complete side note, I haven't even started the video yet and I'm still hashing on. Anyway, I have acne, but my skin has gotten so much better, and I share this on my Instagram. I'm going to a dermatologist on Harley Street. I've been with them for 5 months, not 5 months, 3 months now. Had my 3-month checkup there, and whatchamacallit, they basically were really happy with my progress. Said that to get rid of because pretty much now this is all just scars. I can actually, hopefully, if I learn how to do that, I will insert some photos of what my face did look like previously. I thought I was going to have to go under Accutane. I did not have to go under Accutane. I'm on spirolactone and other stuff as well, and that's really worked. But I basically was asking Jane, because I used to have really like red and inflamed acne, and like I couldn't really cover it. The one thing, do I have it here, that I used to use all the time? Oh my god, that just shows you I'm actually really happy that I can't find it, because I used to use this stuff so much because I had such bad acne, but now I don't use it anymore, so that makes me really happy. But it's the Cuppa from Dr. Jart. It's like the green stuff, and it takes out the redness, and it's so good. Love that. Anyway, so that is what I would recommend if you've got really bad acne and need to cover it up, aside from obviously a good primer. But I asked Jane about the primer and she told me to buy that one, or she put up other ones. It's on her Instagram, if you've got acne, to do that, because I was like, you know what, people never show that. Like, all those MUAs who are gorge all have such good faces. Oh my god, I'm pure only after realizing I was supposed to put this magic cream from Charlotte Tilbury on before I put the primer on, but sure, look at, listen, it probably doesn't make that much of a difference. I mean, it probably does, but like, again, she's not a Mia, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, getting stuck into the questions this time, aside from me being 5 minutes into this video and not having actually done any questions. Somebody asked me, where am I from? I am from Belcoo, County Fermanagh. I live on the border of the north and south, and that's like my tagline when people are like, where are you from? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm from Fermanagh, but I live on the border, which we love to see, border girlies. However, I now live in London, and it's actually hilarious because I've got a friend, Roisin, shout out Roisin because she will probably watch this, and she could tell in my podcast, she was like, did you record an episode at home? And I was like, yeah, why? And she was like, because you sound so like Fermanagh when you go home, and then when you come back, like, you're kind of like toned out or whatever. So that's hilarious. Okay, Charlotte Tilbury 4.5 flawless filter this time. So Also, I'm using this like shitty little mirror because I don't have a big mirror. I live in London now anyway, and I would say I have the kind of accent, and I don't like this about myself, but I do this. I whatchamacallit, will pick up off other people's accents, and I don't like that about myself, but it does kind of happen. But again, soft Nordy kind of accent because yeah, I'm from Fermanagh. Anyway, so that's that, and now I live in London, and I live in Clapham, and I've lived here for 3 years now. Yeah, that's pretty much that. Next question. Oh, how old are you? I'm 25. I turned 25 in November, so I did. But again, because it's COVID, I'm 23. Now, I hear people say that. I'm like, no, you're not. I'm actually 25. So I'm 25. That's the crack with that. Also, this brush is probably stinking. And it's from... Pretty sure it's from Savers. Honestly, like, this is not a makeup tutorial. I just don't know how else to like do these things because I need to be doing something, otherwise I feel too awkward. So, you know, we're getting over it. Oh, next question. Are you in a relationship? Yes, I am in a relationship. I obviously showed Niall now on my page, but it used to be like a funny thing where I'd be like, you know, doing that thing where people don't show their boyfriends, being like hashtag mystery man. However, he is not a mystery man. I have been with my boyfriend for oh my god, 8 years at Christmas. 8 years at Christmas. I know. Yeah, we've been together for a long time. We live together now in a house share, which is kind of chaos. Oh, side note. Okay, so basically I moved to London 3.5, nearly 4 years ago. When I moved here, Niall moved to New York to do like an internship thing in New York. Love that for him. Pretty much I was in Malta, and he rang me when I was in Malta because I was on my placement in Malta, and he was like, I got this like thing to go to New York. Now he was like the one who wanted us to go to London, and I wanted us to go to Liverpool. And then he was like, I got this like program. He had applied for it, he had talked to me about it, and I was like, yeah, sure, apply, like, you don't know. And then he rang, was like, I got the place, like whatever, and I was like, oh my god, unreal. And then we kind of had like, he wasn't asking my permission, like whatever, but I just always thought, because people are like, why, like how did you like deal with that? But I would never, like, how do I explain this? If he said no, that I couldn't go, for example, if it was me and he was like, I don't want you to go, I would be so upset with him or so mad with him and be like, what are you literally talking about? Like, you know, it's his life, and equally it would have been my life, and like, you don't have to do everything together. Also, we were so young. I was like, that opportunity is massive, and if you told me not to take that opportunity, I would be so upset with you, so I will never ask you to do that. And also I was like, gorge, like I'll get to do some trips to New York. Okay, using this pen thing from Rimmel London Insta contouring thing, it's not that great, not gonna lie. It's quite like light, but anyway, it gives me something to put on my face because I see this people do this online. Anyway, then what was I gonna say? Yeah, so he went to, oh my god, this is a full relationship fucking tutorial. He went to New York, I moved to London, all Gucci, all grand. Global pandemic hit. Only got to see him one time in that year, I think. Went twice in that year, and we went 9 months without seeing each other due to the pandemic, which was hashtag very sad. However, there was literally nothing we could do about it. So when people talk about long distance, I'm like, oh my god, yes, I know how you feel, and long distance is not easy, but equally what we just kind of did was like think like, would you be happy with somebody else? And like the answer was ultimately no. Like, I'm very, very happy with him, and I'm very lucky that we met each other so young. And the beautiful thing about us, I think, being apart and then be coming back together, I always say this to people when they have like long distance relationships, I'm like, listen, you know what, you will grow up so much as an individual, and then when you come together, you will not like, you know, seek parts of each other to like bring each other up. It will be like, we come together now as like equal forces and are even better together, you know, rather than like being super reliant on someone, because I'm like nearly hyper independent, and I did struggle with that a bit when he came back. I was like, ooh, this is spicy, you know, I've got like a boyfriend again. However, anyway, we're back together, and yeah, lived in London, did a few housey bits, shared with people, shared with friends in the end, and then my friends moved to the UAE this year, and me and Niall were going to move in together, but me and Niall actually want to move away next year, so to save in London, I moved in with him and his friends. So I actually now live with 3 fellas. I live with Niall and then 2 of our friends. So yeah, that's fun. That's a new experience, but to be fair, the lads are so nice. They're so good for having me, and we're all very similar. Like, this house is like a protein boy house. Like, literally, we have like a long shelf of like protein, and like everyone goes to the gym. Everyone's very similar, so that's also good. So yeah, that's what we do. So I don't have very much space in this house, as in like there's loads of room, but like, you know, it's not ours, and I can't wait to like have that. But anyway, we need to save. We live in London. It's the most expensive place in the entire world. You can literally not save. So to do that, this is what we had to do. Anyway, oh yeah, okay, somebody asked, you look like you're very close to your family. I am very close to my family. Oh my god, I pure start crying. Do you get homesick? So I definitely got homesick. Okay, oh yeah, Charlotte Tilbury bronzer. It's wiped off. Don't know what colour this is. I definitely used to get more homesick. I'd say in the past year I've gotten so much better, and I also think the pandemic conditioned me. So during the pandemic, everyone obviously left London, and I ended up staying in a 3-bed flat by myself because they didn't work in healthcare and I did. And I nearly got conditioned not to go home because I couldn't. Which is a blessing and also a curse, because then when I could, I kind of nearly like wasn't going home as much as I probably should have. But also because I was like so happy in London, do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, when I first moved over here, oh Jesus Christ, the homesickness was actually chronic, and I really didn't enjoy it because London is a very lonely place, and people don't tell you this, but trying to make friends as an adult, the world's hardest thing ever. The hardest thing in the entire world is trying to make friends as an adult. It's actually terrible. I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm using the camera at this stage to like do this. But anyway, yeah, so definitely was homesick at the start. Don't get homesick as much now. And I think especially now that I live with Niall, like it's nice. I feel like it's just like homely, and it's like we're together and stuff, and you know, like I don't know, it's a bit easier now. And also I've had my family and stuff over here, and like I can go back whenever I want, which is nice. But I am very close to my family, so yes, the answer is I do get homesick. But like homesickness is like any sickness. Oh Jesus, that's very pink, is it? No, it's grand. Okay, also using some I'm pretty sure Valky Pharmacy gifted this to me. Thank you, Valky Pharmacy. It's like the wee Rimmel 3. Everything I own I would say is super affordable. Okay, that's not true because Charlotte Tilbury is kind of expensive, but they have lasted me ages, and I'm not a makeup or clothes buying gal. I would buy sportswear, but pretty much nothing else than that. And this does a grand. I would like to get, I think it's like, what is it, NARS or Orgasm or something. Would kind of like to have that, because I kind of like, I only started wearing blusher this year. Oh my god, I'm getting so sidetracked. I can't even remember where I was. I think I was talking about homesickness. Oh my god, I'm literally, what am I doing? Anyway, so yeah, the answer is yes, I do get it. But like any sickness, oh this is what I'm saying, like any sickness, it does pass. It definitely does pass. Okay, I'm getting brush happy. We need to put that down. This is gonna be done. I need to slow down because this, I don't take long to do makeup. I do the same makeup all the time. Before I answer these questions, what was I gonna say? Did I even finish that sentence? Homesickness is like any sickness. It will pass. At first it's like so bad, like you know that sick feeling that you get in your stomach, and you're literally like, I can't unsee this, like it's so bad, but then you overcome it and it does pass. So like it's like anything. And also I have one tip as well. I think this is one thing that I struggled with a lot. I came from like having a big friend group at home and in university, had loads of friends, loved it, to come in here and like not really having that many friends, or like, you know, becoming friends with people, and I was like, you're just not my people. And I would say that like quality is better than quantity. You know, like you could have 100 friends or 10 friends that you're not that close with, or you don't vibe with that much, or you could find that one person who you're like, oh my god, I love hanging out with them, and it's like easy. It's like the kind of people you could bring home, sit on your sofa and not speak for hours, and that's the kind of friendships you need to look for. In general in life, that's the way it should be, but know that when you move away, like you don't have to have loads. It's okay to only have a few, okay? Because I found my few and I was like, they are my OGs. Because at the start I had friends and I was like, we're just not the same, and then I was like, is it me, like what's going on? Had a bit of an identity crisis, but anyway, we got through that, so it's grand, we're all good. I said, what did you study? So I studied diagnostic radiography in Jordanstown in Belfast. I'm using the Refy stuff. However, I think I want something else, because this does not keep your eyebrows up. It does at the start and they look gorge, but it doesn't keep them up. Anyway, studied diagnostic radiography for 3 years in Jordanstown in Belfast. Absolutely loved it. Had the time of my life. Hardest course in the entire world for God knows what reason. Whatchamacallit, I met the best people on that course. Honestly, I miss them every single day. Like I honestly genuinely do. And it's really sad because I haven't actually seen loads of the people, pretty much like all of them. I think only one of them I've seen since I left like 3 years ago, but I would still like sounds so stupid, but like comment on their Instagram photos and like all the time be like, hey, how are you doing, like you look amazing, like what's the crack, what's going on. And I really need to meet up with them. The hardest thing is it was just because COVID and stuff, like it nearly made it harder and harder and harder, and when I go home I don't have a car and stuff. But anyway, I'm just pure making excuses. Anyway, I love those people, and do you know, they're the kind of people who like you wouldn't see for 10 years but they'll be at my wedding. Do you know what I'm saying? Anyway, the course was fucking diabolical. Don't do that course. No, actually do that course if you want to do it. But yeah, I studied diagnostic radiography to become a radiographer. Obviously now I've had like a transition, so I do a bit of both now. I do a bit of PT and I do a bit of diagnostic radiography. However, if I was to go back, I don't think I probably would have done it if I knew what I know now. But I do often get people like sliding into my DMs being like, hey, I want to do radiography. What time is it now? I've got all this time. What time, not me, what time is it? Should I do radiography or like considering radiography as a career or whatever? I would say, first of all, Jordanstown course is absolutely ridiculously hard. So if you want to go and have a bit of a crack, maybe go and do it somewhere else, like in England, and you'll get the same course for not as intense as it was in Jordanstown. And it's a great job, as in like, you know, very stable, like people keep reminding me of that. The stability of the job, love that. You can obviously branch out, like you can get a modality, like I do MRI, etc. That's all fantastic. But I don't know, it's just me, and I don't want to like shit on the career at all, because like I do love it and I love the people I work with and stuff like that there. But for me, I think people just don't really tell you the like sameness. Like at 20 whatever, I was like, okay, this is kind of what I have to do for the rest of my life. And then I was kind of like, I'm not like buzzing about like this career. And then it's probably just me not loving the career itself, but like the job, great. You do have to do night shifts, you do get a lot of exposure in the hospital and stuff. If you want to be a healthcare professional, not a bad place. But the one thing I would say is that like you don't really have the opportunity to go like freelance, as in like, you know, with physio and with like dietetics or whatever, you can kind of do a bit of your own work. You can't do that in radiography, because obviously it's like radiation for one, for most of the imaging, and like the equipment is so expensive, you could, it's not possible. Maybe if you're in Australia, I'm pretty sure I've heard this in Australia, but yeah, other than that, you can't take it out, so bear that in mind as well. However, fantastic career if you want to go into healthcare professional, for sure. Okay, anyway, let's leave it at that. Okay, that leads me on to someone says, what do you work as? So I work as a part-time radiographer in a sports and orthopedic clinic in London. It is 2 days a week. I work on a Wednesday and Thursday. I do 2 12-hour shifts back to back. I was working there full-time previously, but now I transitioned to part-time. And then on the other days, I am an online coach, so I'm an online personal trainer, and I only made that transition in September, and I bloody love it. Oh no, I can't find this pencil. I think I have another one of these. Through the door and past the... Oh, found it. Okay, I'm back. Anyway, I don't really do much with my eyebrows. I literally just put that stuff in it and then draw a wee bit on there. My god, this is, why am I even saying this? Because nobody is ever going to copy anything I'm doing. But anyway, yeah, I'm an online coach and I love that. So people always ask me like, what does that mean? Like, do you do classes, etc.? No, it doesn't. At the minute, I only offer one-to-one, and I offer gym programs as well. So one-to-one online coaching includes training, nutrition and mindset. People always think it's just me giving them a diet plan and a meal prep plan and them just sticking to it and losing weight. That is absolutely not what it's about. That's what you think you're coming for, but what I actually give you is so much more, and it's actually what you need. And it's fantastic. I bloody love it, and I love all of my clients. They're just wee gems, and they're making so much progress, and I'm so proud of them, because I always think like, you know, anyone who's coming to me who has a chat with me or like, you know, does anything like that, they're coming to make themselves like a better person and like, you know, get to a place that they want to be in. And I just think that's unbelievable. And if I can help somebody in that way, like how unreal. Like, I love it. I actually love it so much, and I can't wait for it to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and like my dreams to all come true, and me work really hard and like it get to where I want it to be. And it's like, it's a vision that I'm growing, and I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Anyway, that leads me on to the next question. Somebody asked me, why do I have a personal trainer if I am a personal trainer? Okay, good question. So I have a personal trainer. You will see him on my Instagram. His name is Diego, and I PT with him twice a week. Now, people ask this, and I think it's kind of a silly question. Like, never not, no, actually, hang on. I think it's a silly question because do Olympic people, Olympic athletes, don't they have coaches? Like, they're the best in the world. Doesn't Usain Bolt have a coach who's probably way worse at running than him? Doesn't he have like probably 25 coaches that are way worse than running than him? Now, I'm not saying that Diego is worse than me by any means. That man is definitely not worse than me. However, like, just because you are something or are good at something doesn't mean that you don't have somebody who like can help you with it or make you better. Like, Diego is way ahead of me in years of personal training anyway. Like, he's older than me, he's been doing it for a long time, he knows a lot more, he has taught me so much. It's a no-brainer. And also, like, I would have to control my own training, my job, etc. Like, just like you hire a coach, I hire a coach, you know what I mean? It takes that pressure off me to help guide me and get me to goals that I want to get to. So I will never, honestly, genuinely, I don't think I'll ever not have some sort of like personal trainer in my life at different stages, because there's always something new to learn. Like, I went to him and I wanted to get pull-ups and chin-ups, and I wanted to get into calisthenics. He does calisthenics, and I'd never done calisthenics before. So yeah, it's literally a no-brainer. That's why I have a personal trainer, because he's the best. I am becoming a better version of myself whilst working with him as well, and I learn so much, and then I get to pass on that knowledge as well to other people. So it's like a domino effect of, like, you know, amazingness. So yeah, I have a personal trainer because I want to, and because I think everyone should have one. And if you need one, DM me. Anyway, okay, these are nice ones. Okay, so your favorite place that you've traveled. My favorite place that I've traveled is probably Thailand. So I went to Thailand with my friends when I was in uni, and it was for 3 weeks, and there was 8 of us. Chaos, but very fun. So I would say Thailand was probably my favorite place to have traveled. Where else did I absolutely love? I've been to America a few times, and I really like America as well, but I do think Asia is like my favorite place. I would say Asia. Thailand for sure. Anyway, then somebody asked me about solo traveling. Have I ever solo traveled? I have solo traveled. I went to, well, she's solo traveled. Like, how many times have you done it, hon? Once. Okay, I did it one time, kind of twice, because at the end of my Malta, oh my god, I pure shit myself there. I was like, oh my god, there's somebody in the house. But it's just the water from the tap in the bathroom. Anyway, when I was in Malta, I did placement in Malta with 3 other girls, and then they left, and then I stayed on for like a week. So I kind of solo traveled that, but that doesn't really count. So I did solo travel. I went to Lisbon by myself this year at the start of the year, and it was always something I wanted to do, and oh my god, it was unbelievable. Lisbon is gorgeous, and it was so much fun. I would really, really recommend Lisbon as your first solo traveling trip. And I stayed in this hostel. What was it called? Oh my god, I can't remember, but my friend actually had told me about it, and it was the best hostel I've ever been to. Such a good, like, first timer hostel. I would recommend that entire thing. I think I have it in my Instagram highlights. If not, I will put the name of the hostel down below. Would recommend. Was gorge. I would love to do more and more solo traveling, but at the minute your girl is trying to save to move away. So that leads me on to the next question. My future plans. What are my future plans? Well, boy oh boy, I wish I knew. No, I'm just kidding. I am saving to move to Australia. I have always wanted to go to Australia. And it actually makes me not a little bit sad, but I feel like right now I'm really starting to like love and enjoy London, and like I'm in a good place in London, and I'm like, oh, like I think this time last year I was itching to get out of it, but now I'm kind of like, oh, I kind of like have found my place in here. But I've always wanted to go, and I am ready to go, and I feel like this is a good stage to kind of move off and go. So hopefully after my sister gets married next year, I will be heading off to Australia. Me and my boyfriend are planning to hopefully travel Asia a little bit and then move out there. Hopefully, I'm praying that that will work out at some stage next year. And yeah, and then I don't really know what I'm going to do career wise, as in I love Targy fit coaching, and like it's not going anywhere. It's only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger because we're working on that. But obviously I'm still a radiographer, and I can bring that over to Australia. So we'll see what happens on like how I get there. But you know what, it'll happen. We're manifesting, and not just manifesting, because I believe, right, in manifesting and the law of attraction, but I think the law of attraction is nothing without action. So you can't just sit there and be like, I'm gonna manifest this and that and extra and do nothing about it. Like, you have to put wheels in motion, and then the wheels start going and turning and it gets you there, do you know what I'm saying? So we will be in Australia at some point, here, there and everywhere. That is my future plan. And yeah, that's anyway. I'm kind of glad none of the questions were like raunchy or like weird, you know, they're all like, they're nice and normal, so thank you. Oh, okay, somebody asked me, am I happy? I would say yes, I am very happy. I think this year has been like a massive transition year for me. Before I went part-time in my job, or before I asked to go part-time in my job, I definitely was having like an identity crisis. I wouldn't say I wasn't happy, but like I am a very happy person, a very positive person. I am very like, you know, go get it. Like I luckily never suffer with like anxiety or anything like that there. I obviously, like anybody, have like a few days where you're like meh, but like no, like I would say I overall have very good mental health, right? But at the start, it was the start of this year, before I went part-time or whatever, and I kind of moved from the NHS to this job to kind of start coaching a bit more, and then I was like, I want more of it and I'm not happy in my job. I had such bad anxiety, I had such a bad identity crisis, and also like guilt from it, and I was like, my parents are gonna like literally like be like, what are you doing, like you can't do this, like, you know, kind of be disappointed in me. Like I had gone to university, I had spent money, I had like done it through the pandemic, I had like, I don't know, it was just terrible, and I was like having a complete crisis basically. And then when I was like, I don't know what to do, I was getting like facial tingling when I was going to work. Like I was so anxious, I couldn't sleep at night, I was up the absolute walls, and that's the first time I've ever experienced anything like that in my life. And I was just so stressed, like panic attack would be like not something I would normally have, but I definitely had a few during that period, and it was honestly terrible because I knew how like my normal or baseline was. I knew that wasn't me, and I didn't want to continue down that route. I was like, I knew I needed to make a change to like get back to myself. However, making that change was just such a life jump, and like now I've done it, I'm like, what were you actually waiting on? But it's easy to say that now in hindsight, do you know what I'm saying? It's easy to say that, but it's not always like that. Anyway, so now I would say yes, I am very happy. I posted on my Instagram story this week, and I was like, this was the first week I feel like I've had a bit of a dip, and I've been so hard on myself. I'm very much like not a go-getter, but I am like constantly doing something. I'm a busy person. I don't really like to rest. I will sleep really well at night. Like I'm not the kind of person who's going to be up till 4 AM and gets up at 6. That's not me. Like even before my A-levels and GCSEs, I would have went to bed at 10 PM, but I will get up at 4 in the morning if I have to. Like I would rather do it that way. But Saturdays, Sundays, like I have no problem working. I'm not afraid of work by any means, but I don't like doing stuff that I don't want to do. And not just like, oh, I don't want to do, I don't know, boring stuff that I have to do, but like I don't, when I'm not in alignment with the type of job I'm doing, I don't really want to do it, if that makes sense. Like I'm not motivated to do it, and I was like, okay, I'm not putting my energy into that anymore. I want to do like my own thing. So now that kind of sidetracked. That was a wee bit of a head fuck. Anyway, the past week was the first week where I was like, I was getting so hard on myself. I was like, you are nowhere near where you should be. Like you aren't doing enough. Like it's not going well enough. Like, and like it's going so well. Like I'm so lucky, and I'm so grateful. I'm so proud of like how much I've made the transition from, and like from September now, I'm like, wow, like it's amazing. But I'm just like so hard on myself, and I think like I was just getting into a bit of a rut, like comparing myself, and I was like tired, and you know, all those things, and just thinking like, what next? As I know what's next, but it's like for me, I need like a checkbox. Like I need to be like bam 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 bam, tick 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 tick, go 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 go. And whenever there's like any period of me being like, okay, this is what I want, but like how do I get there, that's where I don't cope well. And I think I was sitting in that mindset there for the last few days, well, last week, and I get terrible migraines whenever that happens. So we're hoping to eliminate that process and that headspace as much as we possibly can going forward, and avoiding, I suppose, an element of it was burnout, to be totally honest, because the week before I was so go, like literally work. I was like building a website, putting up a podcast, making a YouTube channel, trying to work my normal shift, doing my coaching, trying to do more coaching stuff. It was just too much, and I don't know how to take time off. And then whenever I take time off, I'm like, oh, but I could be doing this, and I fill up this time, and it's not always productive. Now, it's not the same as some people are like, oh, you need to do this, like, to relax. I don't believe in that. Like, you can do whatever. Like, if me editing a video for Instagram relaxes me and it doesn't actually, that's grand. Don't give me your thoughts, but sometimes we need to just slow down a wee bit. And we're learning that. My entire life belongs in journals, so if anyone breaks into my house and steals my journals, you will know my entire life story. I journal everything, and I think it really helps. So if anyone is going through anything and you need to talk, first of all talk, because talking to my sisters is like, and my boyfriend is like the #1 thing I always do. And along with journaling, those two things are my two, like, okay, I know this is going to make me feel better. Along with coffee in the gym, you know, the coffee in the gym, my sisters, and the journal, and my boyfriend. What else do I need? I feel bad because I said my boyfriend last, but like, you know, that's not, it wasn't in any direct order, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, am I happy? Yes. In this present moment in time, very happy with everything's going on, very happy, but that doesn't mean that I don't have goals for ahead. But I do not believe in I'll be happy when. That's something I don't believe in. I think if you want something to happen, like for example, I have so many plans, so many goals. If I had this mindset that I'll be happy when I get those things, I would never be able to rest in any type of level of baseline happiness. Like, it's ridiculous when people have that mindset. It's the same when people are like, oh, I'll be happy when I lose 20 pounds. No, you won't. Like, it doesn't mean you have to be happy with your body right now, but like, what brings happiness in your day? Like, is it your cup of coffee? Is it like your partner saying hello to you in the morning? Is it like the cuddles you have on the sofa? Is it watching your favorite YouTuber? Is it, you know, XYZ? Is it going out for a walk in nature? Those are what the things that bring you happiness. It's not a number on the scales. It's not a number in your bank account. None of that is going to bring you true happiness, and I think you need to remember that. So being happy with where you are now does not mean that you're settling for anything. It just means that you appreciate and you're giving gratitude for where you are right now, and you can still want more or strive for more in the future as well. But being happy where you are is like going to get you there so much quicker, and you'll be so much more grateful as well. So much more grateful. Anyway, oh my god, this is like a therapy session. Okay, so I ended up talking there loads, and I'm going to be using the Naked palette Urban Decay Heat for my eyes. I will not be showing you what I'll be doing because I don't know what I'm doing, so I'll come back when I have something on my eyelids. Okay, so I went and put on some eyeshadow and mascara because I could not do that. I'd be like that for about 2 hours. Oh my god, this is just exposing me, like how shit my makeup is, but who cares? I use this one from Rimmel London. I would tell you what the name of it was, but it's actually gone off. That's probably a good telltale sign that I need to go and get myself a new one. However, nonetheless, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. I'm on this new phase where I'm like, you know, I'm saving money because I want to move to Australia, and I'm just trying to be a bit better in some places. So for me, like, makeup's just not a necessity, and I have loads to keep me going, so I don't need to be going buying new stuff unless there's something I really want. Like, for example, I got this the other day, and I got the new primer a few weeks ago. Like, for me, this is like really good because I just don't buy makeup. And I actually, so I never said the foundation I wore actually. The foundation I wear is the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. I feel like everyone and their cousin uses this. I was wearing Stromboli, which everyone was wearing before, but I actually recently got Santa Fe, and this is like more of my natural color. So right now I have no tan on my hands, which is kind of chaos, but I have a little, like, I have like about a layer left of tan on, so obviously I am a wee bit sallow, but this one just matches so well to my natural skin, and that's just kind of what I'm going with at the minute. So Santa Fe is what I wear. I also have Stromboli, and I have another darker color for whenever I want to go out, and that one is, but I never wear it anymore, Vanuatu. I don't know. Anyway, last questions are gym questions. Of course they are. So somebody asked me, how many times do I train a week? I don't have a strict train how many times a week. I got rid of that this year, and I love that I got rid of that. So previously I would have been like, oh my god, I have like a 5-day split, like I train like 2 days legs, 2 days upper body, 1 day whatever. I don't have that anymore. I don't see it as weeks, I just see it as like a continuum, and I think that's a really good way to see it. As like, you know, some people would be like, oh, you missed out, like for example my clients will be like, I missed out last week's workout, whatever, and then they panic, and I'm like, listen, don't worry, like just pick up whatever the last session was. Just because you don't get like 2 upper and 2 lower done 1 week, that's grand. Just pick up the second lower and then start the next upper after that, you know what I'm saying? Like just see it as a continuum rather than in weeks. Obviously I'm not saying that would mean then there would be weeks that you don't train. That's not the point. It's just that you keep going, if that makes sense. So every week is different. I would say I train somewhere between 3 to 5 times a week. So sometimes it's 5 times, sometimes it's 3. I would say on average it is probably like 4 times. Maybe the 5th session is more like mobility or whatever. Because especially at the minute I have an injury to my lower body, so I'm only in the last 2 weeks able to train lower body, and I'm only allowed to do squats to like parallel. I'm not even allowed to go below that. The other sessions are all upper body calisthenics, so I do like either a push or a pull, and I'm trying to get a muscle up, or I also do handstands, but that's a lot on my upper body. So much so that this last week I actually have started to get this like numbness in my hands, and I can't feel my fingers anymore, and this happened when I first started with Diego as well. It's not a good sign, it's just basically I'm overtraining a little bit, so I need to calm it down a little bit. So yeah, I don't really have a definite I have to train this many days. I'm a lot more lax on myself. I will go because I know I will go, so it's fine. But yeah, somewhere between 3 to 5 times. I spend a lot of the time in the gym anyway, so you'll see me somewhere in then. The other one was, what split do I have? Again, right now I don't really have a split. So I train with Diego definitely twice a week, and then the other sessions I do by myself, but he programs them for me. And at the minute they change depending on obviously what my goal is. So right now my goal is like muscle up, so I have like a push muscle up program, a pull muscle up program, and then some handstand programs, and I basically do a little bit of all of those things at the minute. And what was the other thing, the other question? Oh, the question was, what is my favorite thing to train? And I will answer this last question now. I am going to finish with my lips, and I am using some type of Clarins Natural Lip Perfector. The colour, I don't know what the colour is, because this was bought for me by my sister-in-law. So thank you, Brona, for this. I don't know. I used to buy lipsticks all the time, and I lose them all the time, and it does my head in. Or they always break on me. I actually always wear Velvet Touch from Primark. Chaos, but I do. Other than that, I don't wear makeup that much, so we're going with this today. What was I gonna say? But yeah, my favorite thing to train, I would think, is pull. Definitely like pull, back, shoulders. Love that. Anything that can get my, you know, shoulders a little bit pumped, my arms a little bit pumped. Slay. I used to be a leg day gal, but now I haven't trained leg day in like 2 to 3 months. But now I'm an uppers gal, and I think I just used to train legs all the time, and it was like my comfort that I like didn't like doing something that was a little bit weaker on my upper body. But now I'm like, whew, you know, pop, like you like slay, you know what I'm saying? So love that. Anything that has like something with your back, something to get a bit of juice pumped in there, we love that. Anyway, that is my get ready with me, get to know me tutorial vibe situation. I hope that you enjoyed this. I actually have to go very quickly to get changed because I'm going to the Christmas markets now. I hope you had a fantastic time watching this. Like, fair play to you if you did watch this. And second of all, again, it's not a makeup tutorial, it was definitely just me hashing. Anyway, if you enjoyed this, make sure you give it a big thumbs up, you hit subscribe on the channel so that you can get a wee notification whenever I do post. If you want to find me in the meantime, find me on Instagram at TarzieFit, or if you want a coach who wears terrible makeup and doesn't know how to do it, but does know how to give you a good program, then you can find me on targallagher.co.uk. Slay. Anyway, have a good one, and thank you so much for watching.